So Cyoubx, you want to redesign your 3x3 style. You want to be able to turn more slowly and still get faster times. Luckily, you came to the right person. I think I'll be able to help you out. So a little while ago, Cyoubx came to me asking for help on 3x3. In his own words, he says, "I physically can't maintain the TPS I used to, and I'm thinking of transitioning to a more slow but efficient solve style, especially for F2L. So in order to help him with this, we're going to be making a series of videos back and forth. First, I'll make a video analyzing his solves, seeing what I can do to help him out in that journey, and then he'll make a response where he goes over his practicing process, his improvements, and any questions he has about what to do along the way. By the end of the series, Cyoubx will have completely revolutionized his solving style. Before we get into my advice, I need to make a little bit of a shameless plug. I do sell 3x3 one-on-one sessions and solve critiques through the Cubicle Academy. I don't do them in the way that I'm doing this with Cyoubx, that's sort of a special thing just for him, but if you want really helpful advice on how to get faster, you can go to the link in the description and that will give you all the information you need on how to sign up. Okay, first, let's answer the big question. Can you get faster while turning slower? And the answer is yes, but you need to make each turn do more for you. Let's use Cyoubx as an example. In Cyoubx's case, most of his solves are 65 to 70 moves, and he averages just over 11 seconds, which means that his solves are about 6 turns per second. But keep in mind, that's 6 turns per second on average, factoring in his pauses. He's clearly capable of turning much faster than that in short bursts. So if we can make him go from high speed in short bursts to 6 TPS all the time, he'll actually be turning slower. And if we can change those 65 to 70 moves to closer to 60 moves on average, now we're getting into sub 10 territory. So Cyoubx, we will get you to sub 10 territory here, I promise. And we're going to do it in 3 steps. Step 1, we're going to decrease your average move count to around 60 by improving your efficiency, mostly during F2L. Step 2, we're going to teach you the finger tricks you'll need to handle everything you'll have to do to reach that level of efficiency. But don't worry, you'll be turning slower, remember? So the extra finger tricks shouldn't be that difficult to implement. And step 3, we're going to give you the look ahead you need to not pause, which allows you to save time even though you're turning slower. In this video, I'm just going to be focusing on step 1, because you're going to have plenty to work on just when it comes to efficiency. We'll get to finger tricks and look ahead in the future. Based on the solves you sent me, there are 2 main things you need to do to increase your efficiency. You need to stop doing bad F2L pairs, and you need to make the pairs that you are doing more efficient in the way you solve them. For an example of an F2L pair you did that you shouldn't have, look no further than the first pair of your first solve in this average. Despite there being 2 very good options in red and green or blue and orange, you locked onto the much more difficult orange and green pair and solved that first instead. By doing that instead of either of the other options, you did 1 extra cube rotation and 3 or 4 extra moves respectively. This is what I like to call F2L tunnel vision, and usually it's caused by a need to always be doing something in order to make yourself think that you're not pausing. In order to achieve that, you'll lock onto the first thing you see and have to solve it no matter how bad of a case it is. The solution to F2L tunnel vision will feel really uncomfortable in the short term, but it's something you absolutely have to do in order to fix your efficiency. You need to force yourself to slow down and choose better pairs to do during your F2L, even if it means you have to pause in order to find those pairs and make the right decision about how to solve them. Once you're making better decisions, we can use look ahead to get rid of the pauses. By making an active effort to be more deliberate about which pairs you choose and solve during your F2L, I'm sure you can cut a lot of moves and cube rotations off of your solves. But we still need to go over which cases you should be doing, but you're doing inefficiently. And you know what that means. Montage time! Let's take a look at how much of a difference efficiency can make. Your worst solve in this average was a 1453 with a +2, but even ignoring the +2, it was your worst solve for a reason. Every F2L pair in this solve was either a pair you should not have chosen, or it was a pair you solved inefficiently. You also cube rotated 6 times just for F2L. The difference between that and your best solve was like night and day. Your best solve still wasn't perfect. There was a little bit of decision making that I didn't agree with when it came to your first pair, but other than that, you did everything correctly. Your F2L won't always be as easy as it was on that solve, but by making better decisions about which pairs you choose not to do and which ones you choose to do, you can make it easier every time. So I think I've given you a lot to work on here. First, make more of an effort to choose good pairs to do even if you have to pause, instead of locking onto bad ones that you solve first. And then, when you do choose pairs to do, try to be more efficient with them like I've shown in this video. I'm sure I missed some cases that you need help with, but if there are any cases you can think of, feel free to mention them in your next video and I'll be happy to help you out with them. As always, if you or anyone else watching has any questions, feel free to let me know so I can make corrections and clarifications as they come up. So Cyoubx, I wish you the best of luck with your efficiency practice. I can't wait to see your response.